things are starting to look just a little bit better in terms of what the market may, soon turn, because, it it is not getting as ugly as it used to be, at least for the last 8 weeks, and this might be the right time to invest $1,000 in order to turn that into 10,000 and possibly 100,000 and even more. All right, so I'm going to discuss in this video exactly how you can take that $1,000, invest it in the market in order to get those huge returns, as the market is actually trying to finally find, the bottom. Like, stocks will stop crashing like it's been the case, since the beginning of this year, and we may be in for a huge rebound, and you don't want to miss that out, especially as, you know, keeping your money in the banks doesn't pretty much, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't return you anything, and you want your money to continue to grow because that's how you build wealth. So I'm going to start by sharing, a chart of the S&P 500. This is, kind of the stock market, an image of the stock market as of today. This is the top 500 companies in the U.S. economy, right? Comprised into the S&P 500. Now, if you look today, things look like, yeah, we might be seeing what I would call reversal, meaning for the last 8 weeks, if you look back, last month, since the beginning of this year, market are down 18%. And when you look at what happened in 2020, if you look at the last 5 years, so back in 2020, things used to be, it felt like the end of the world, right? But right now, looking 2 years past that, look at how small compared to the amount. So the market lost what? 32%, right? The market lost 32% in a matter of just 1 month. But look, since then, at the end of 2021, the market almost gained 107% based off of the lows of 2020 at the bottom of the pandemic crisis. So just to share that ultimately market will recover. Market will recover ultimately because right now the main goal, the main risk that the market are kind of on hedge about. We have inflation, we have the war in Ukraine, we have fears of recession because companies are now kind of advising, kind of communicating, giving heads up to the market that, hey, we might not meet the expectations in terms of, how profitable we will be in the next quarter and maybe for the next remaining of this year. Why? Because costs are rising. Look at Walmart, look at Target, look at, Home Depot, look at, Pinterest, Snapchat, that, pretty much everything. But what is really interesting here is when this happens and when there is a lot of panic in the market, like, right now, everybody doesn't want to keep the money invested in stocks. That's why stocks keep going down. Now, if you look at a company like Walmart, you look at a company like even Tesla, you look at a company like, Kroger, Target, all of those companies that lost 50% of the value, and pretty much we're back to where we were in 2020. Now, the big question you have to ask yourself is, will Walmart or Target or Kroger or Home Depot will still be around in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years? If that answer is yes, which I believe is the case, then it means that this is a buying opportunity. It means now is the time to get into stocks, because when the stock market is in panic mode, it's like throwing the bathwater with the baby in it, meaning you kind of do a discrimination on everything. Like, you don't care, you just want to take your money out, and it creates this, spiral of money getting out of stocks, even including the good quality stocks. So this gives a buying opportunity because those good quality stocks at some point, will go back to the level on their fair value. So stocks that are down 50%, 70% now, and are quality stocks will go back to 50% and even more. All right. So that's why you want to profit and get advantage, right now. So going back to, if you have $1,000 right now that you want to say, okay, let me see if I can double this money or triple this money or 20x, 50x this money, that 1,000 can produce, 10,000 or maybe 100,000 on the long run, because you have to keep in mind, we're talking about, the long run here, because if you do invest 1,000 right now, in the next 25 years, you will be amazed at how much money that 1000 will grow into. All right. So if I were to invest 1000 right now in the market, I will suggest three scenarios. I will look at three scenarios, right? The first one will be to see, okay, if I'm not familiar at all with stocks, or if I don't want to bother, losing sleep at night because I have my money invested in the stock market, it doesn't matter what happens, whether it goes back down or it goes up, I would just put it in a ETF or an index fund or even a mutual fund. All right. So index or ETF or mutual fund is like I'm buying the market directly. I'm not putting my money into one single company or a dozen companies. I'm putting my money into all the 500 companies of the S&P 500. All right. And by doing so, because the S&P 500 is down 20% so far this year, when all of these things that are kind of putting the market on edge will settle, because it's going to settle, it's not going to last forever. All right, inflation is going to come back down. Interest rates are going to also stabilize, and the war in Ukraine at some point will also have to stop. And when that happens, maybe not in that order, then it will be safer. I mean, people will feel more comfortable putting money back in the market, and that's how your money will start to grow as the market recovers from this huge sell-off we had since the beginning of this year. So I'll put it into Vanguard, VOO ticker symbol. All right, this is a index fund from Vanguard. It doesn't cost you any fees. You just put your money there and then sit back, relax. If you don't want to put that into VOO, you can put it into VGT. This is the technology sector. All right, you will be only putting your money into the technology sector, which has been decimated lately. Or you can just buy a mutual fund following what the S&P 500 does. Simple. That's scenario number one. Now, scenario number two, if you want to be a little bit aggressive, if you want to, instead of gaining maybe 2 or 3%, if you want to go above and gain, to the next level, gain 50, maybe 70, maybe 80%, then I will say put your money into stocks that will gain 50, 40, 60, 80% by the end of this year, or maybe by summer. All right. I know it sounds crazy, but those kind of gain, you are guaranteed. You can get those gains in the sector where instead of money shrinking, like the profits are shrinking, their profits are increasing. And this is the energy sector. All right. So if you put your money into oil and gas companies, energy companies, you're pretty sure that you will be able to get your money to grow that long. I mean, that quick and that high in by the end of this year. So small caps companies like Devon Energy, and they pay a big hefty dividend. Now, if you want to be invested into small or individual stocks, just buy the XLE. All right, XLE Energy S&P 500 ETF, or buy a leverage ETF from the XLE. Right, buy an ETF that will give you 2 or 3 times the gains happening in the energy sector. So that's scenario number two. Now, scenario number three, if you want to be more aggressive, I will divide my money into two, right? Or let's say, let's say two. So 50%, that's 500, I will put into Vanguard index fund. I will put, maybe 60% of the 500 into retail stocks, the Walmart, the Targets, the Kroger, the Home Depots. I will put that into also energy stocks. I will also put that into technology stocks, companies. All right. There are a lot of those decimated out there. And then the remaining 500, I will put those into the cryptocurrency, because the crypto is also being decimated right now. And I believe personally that cryptocurrency is the next phase of the future of innovation in the whole wide world. Now, if you buy a little bit of Bitcoin, you buy a little bit of Ethereum, you buy a little bit of, a little bit of Litecoin, maybe Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. So switch it between those. But if you don't know, just figure out, find an ETF that will expose you to the crypto as a whole. Or buy a crypto that will expose you to a specific big dog cryptocurrency out there, like GBTC for Bitcoin, for ETH, that is ticker symbol for Ethereum. But you can find something that will give you exposure to pretty much the biggest cryptocurrencies out there. That's how I will invest the 1000 breaking down into these three scenarios depending on if you are a little more, familiar with stock market, or if you want to sleep at night without having to worry about, checking your phone every 5 minutes to check where your assets are currently doing in the market. So let me know in the comment section if this is something you will agree with, or if you have any other strategy you can come up with so that everybody can benefit from that. I will see you in the next video.